those newer regions are very talented, but they do play with a little bit more chaos, a little bit more insanity, if you will.
Oh,
this is pretty insane, though. Ain't no way. Eugen barely denied, and Juicy will try for another. It's still not enough, but okay, gentlemen, I get it. You went, game one was too simple. Let's spice it up a bit.
Yeah, just spice it up a little bit with that fake kickoff. Almost set up a banger of a goal. That would have been
decided on Gentlemates. 1.1 million Twitch points to only 26,000. That is almost 98% of the audience thinking that Gentlemates Alpine are going to take this one. And based on the way they're starting off, I wouldn't exactly blame them. Commit out of FUT Esports is going to make this one a little bit awkward, as I don't know if they've actually been on the offensive half yet. And then B to start, never mind. Shot goes a bit wide.
Oh, you can hear that post sound effect ricochet echo throughout the stadium, but that's all right. You get the first shot in, you're kind of getting the rust out, and Juicy, he's not finding the post this time, puts it on target about a minute into this first game, and it's just been dominance from Gentlemates.
It just feels like they're suffocating them right now. FUT Esports have barely had an opportunity to get a wheel in the way of any of these shots, and definitely have not had an opportunity on offense thus far. So far, it's the same old, same old. FUT Esports just kind of struggling to put plays together. Can't be the same said for Gentlemates.
A laser beam of a shot from Seiko, putting that one, it felt like pretty on target. And right now, you're dealing with so much pressure. You're extending a little bit too far forward, and that's another close call. It's just barely missing, just a hair away, a hair shy from getting that second goal as Gentlemates. And they keep knocking on the door, and eventually, it's going to answer. And I lied. Just another goal line save. This is insane for FUT.
Credit where it's due. This defense is remarkable right now, and it's doing a good job of also now turning it into transition plays. Had Juicy not been respawning off the demo, there would have been nobody back for Gentlemates, and that probably would have been a goal.
All series long with those goal line saves, with those close calls. And while I definitely think it's possible, you are asking for a lot if you're FUT. And here they come, some boost to his name. Leoro doesn't find the shot, but he instead sets up VK Salin, who sends it all the way to the top left, and they tie things up.
I'm wondering if they were expecting something more from Leoro, because you just kind of watch all of Gentlemates flat tires there as they just wait for the shot to come through. Either way, it's now led to a potential overtime to kick off our ult stream here, as a minute to go, a tied ball game, and VK Salin is pre-jumping? Okay, all right, FUT Esports has got some confidence.
Okay, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. The confidence was there for a split-second, Baz. You felt it. The pre-jump came out, and now how does it feel? You pre-jump, and then you get flip reset on by Juicy. And what a game one we've seen so far to kick things out. Confidence surging through the veins of Gentlemates, and this is the game one they expected to see. Potentially didn't expect that defense out of FUT, but they still fought through and chewed him out.
And unfortunately, I think for their efforts of keeping this ball up, they might actually get scored on again. Eugen off the backboard looking for a drop-down pass. And Juicy's to keep this one going. Okay, salt in the wound.
Yeah, just keep going. Just keep going.
Oh, goodness me. The pinch off the bar and out, but the results stay the same. Gentlemates Alpine will take game number 1 here in our best of 5. And again, not the unexpected result, more the unexpected turmoil to get here.
They want to overextend, take some risks. And you're going to have to do that against one of the top dogs from Europe. But hold on, Juicy's taking you out, opening up some space, got some demos to his name. And there was a slight opening to get a shot on target, but unfortunately for Gentlemates, nobody waiting in the backfield. And they're going to have to go back to the drawing board. Still an all tied up game as we approach halftime. And who's going to break the silence? Who's going to end the drought, Bass? What do you got feeling right now? Who's really on top?
I gotta say, I don't think many people were gonna expect the first overtime in the major to be between Mates and FUT. I think that was probably a less expected result, but if you watch the series, you're gonna start to understand. Again, FUT, not necessarily just getting lucky by Gentlemates that are not playing up the caliber, they're forcing them to this. They are doing a great job at keeping the offense flowing, having a defense that does not buckle underneath the pressure, and opening up opportunities. Torres out to Leo, into the net! Boom! Gonna take the overtime here in game 2.
And look at how beneficial that demo was from, I believe it was VK Salin, took out the defender, and that's what opened up this awkward space in the Gentlemates defensive half. And a statement just declared there from FUT Esports. They had both of us betting against them, all, if not most of the chat betting against them as well.
Are they too hungry, though? I'm a little bit concerned. They've sent a couple of players into the air and diving in awkward positions that maybe you're going to leave them exposed. Again, open net to start off this game, and I'll do what they do get back. I don't exactly want them to start turning this into, like you said, full-on panic. If you sound the alarms here in Game 3, you're going to have those alarms still sounding going into Game 4.
Oh, my goodness.
Torres with the fake of the day so far. What?
You get the mind game. You've got another demo from VK as well. That's been the catalyst for so many plays right now. It's what won them in the last game. And now here comes FUT once more. You got a mind game on top of the demo. I think that's a combination that you just, maybe a 2-0 game from FUT, you just think to yourself, okay, we got to change things up. But Gentlemates are getting opportunities back. That's the thing. They're getting shots on target. They're coming out. You've got double tap opportunities like this from Eugen, but somebody gets a save every time on the goal line. The Major's already providing what it needed to, Bass.
I really don't want to sound the alarms, but also at the same time, sound the alarms, sound them all, ring the bell, let's get it going. It's 2-0 to FUT. It has been 7 minutes since Gentlemates last scored.
The VK sailing. At first, I thought this man was just like the muscle for FUT Esports. He's been taking him out. He's been going for the demos, but here he is in the corner with the mechanics, a little mechie performance showing up. At this moment, you start to wonder what could happen. I mean, it's one thing to give up a game against FUT Esports, against a team that you should be taking the win. I mean, it is objective right now. You assume Gentlemates take and win this series, but oh my word, there it is. Finally something breaks through, but they've still got another goal to go.
Their first goal in, I want to say, over 9 or 10 minutes of play, because we had the overtime in the last one as well. It's been a while since Gentlemates have last scored, but hey, a goal is a goal, momentum is momentum, and that.
I mean, even that goal was a bit fortunate for Gentlemates. That could have been just a moment where they could have a sigh of relief and feel like something is on their side because it ricocheted off the defense of FUT.
There we go.
Wasn't even anticipated. There's a double tap, and you're not going to miss this one. The first opportunity might have been more difficult, but Eugen, you give him the space, and he is going to punish.
And you can see Juicy starting to get loud. He's going to try to will his team back into this one with a little bit of confidence, trying to chirp, get them hyped, get them ready here, and really maybe get some more confidence in Eugen. Again, this is his first international land with this team. Finally hit a double touch in a very clutch moment. I think is going to will this team back into a more winnable position. With a minute to go, they do not want to see another overtime. Last time it didn't work out.
Oh, that's on
this
target.
Time,
what are we doing?
Even get there. Another open net, man. What's happening?
I mean, this is the type of goal that you'd expect Gentlemates to be punishing against FUT Esports, but instead, it's the exact opposite. Nobody home. Seiko was rotating in, but just slightly too delayed. And that extra follow-up could have actually been the safety net that FUT Esports needed to take this game win and get themselves on match point, which I can't even believe I'm saying, but that's a give and go from Juicy and Seiko. 10 seconds left. They're throwing everything they've got and the kitchen sink at the goal line. And finally, something does break through. 5 seconds to go. The pressure was there, and they do respond.
The pressure is still there. You can even see it from the phase cams. Gentlemates do not care that they scored that. They're like, we should never have been in this position in the first place. It is no longer Juice trying to hype up the team. It's him trying to lock in and make sure they get to at least another overtime.
Right, and that extra follow-up could have actually been the safety net that FUT Esports needed to take this game win and get themselves on match point, which I can't even believe I'm saying, but that's a give and go from Juicy and Seiko. 10 seconds left. They're throwing everything they've got and the kitchen sink at the goal line. And finally, something does break through. 5 seconds to go. The pressure was there, and they do respond.
The pressure is still there. You can even see it from the phase cams. Gentlemates do not care that they scored that. They're like, we should never have been in this position in the first place. It is no longer Juice trying to hype up the team. It's him trying to lock in and make sure they get to at least another overtime.
Right.
This has not been the expected result so far, Turtle, but I'll be happy with it considering we might get 2 OTs in a row.
But at what point is it too late? You gotta try and lock in right now, but I mean, you've given FUT already good momentum.
Maybe this will change that as Leoro. Great challenge. Eugen there to back up his teammate, though, and Torres now take over midair. Eugen again there to back up his teammate.
Juicy.
A shot to Juicy so that they can take the lead. Gentlemates will close out this overtime and return to form as they take a 4-3 win.
And to be honest, I don't want to be that guy, but I feel like this is the goal line save that probably should have happened from FUT Esports. That shot was solid. It was placed behind the rotation. But with what we've seen, the defensive showing out of FUT Esports, I fully expected some type of save there on the goal line. You had a chance to react, but at the end of the day, it just didn't come through. And Gentlemates,
definitely still playing with confidence, but they're going to need to be careful. Surging Gentlemates is a terrifying prospect, especially when Juicy started to hit air dribbles like this. Good carry through midfield. Can't do all too much with it, and the Oro has to turn this one away from the backboard. Great first touch, great second touch, and maybe a great reset over one, but not over the team, as Gentlemates very much back in time.
Juicy taking his own boost in the corner. That one almost squeezed into his own net. Oh, man. Gentlemates got a bit lucky in that last game where it bounced off their own defender from FUT Esports, and that's what created the weird opening. And they almost dealt with a bit of misfortune themselves, but this one doesn't come down to luck at all. This is 100% skill-based, and Seiko is showing you why he's a former world champion.
Top left Slaughter. That is a perfect shot if I have ever seen one. And again, don't give in to your natural instincts of just trying to go or trying to succumb to the pressure. You need to stay confident if you want a chance here in this fourth game.
But it's just so hard, Fast, to not get in your head at this moment, especially when you had a chance and now Seiko's making you pay. This is where you're up against it. FUT Esports, you showed a couple of signs of life, but now as things have been put on match point, Seiko is just embarrassing the defense. And it's just not looking good right now. But the good news is there's plenty of time to get back into this one. You don't have to necessarily put GGs in the chat quite yet. And you know they're not going to. They're going to go out with a fight. And we don't know what could happen, Bass. Okay, we don't know this one. Okay, of course, it's going to go in. A giant clear down the other side. They got a little bit too hungry. Two players sent forward looking for that boost. And Juicy is just hovering forward, waiting for that freebie.
I mean, you can see it. The vibes have completely changed over in the Gentlemates Alpine camp. You can see it from their cameras. They're celebrating every goal. They got fist bumps. They're laughing. They're giggling. They're having a good time. And I think that's something that FUT probably should never have let them do. Again, they had them awkward early. They had them not too confident. They had them playing a little bit unnormal, not the standard at which you would expect from Gentlemates. Now that they've gone back to that standard, it's also happy days. It's a happy camp. Everybody's giggling, laughing, feeling good. That's unfortunate for FUT because I think that means the end of this series, especially if Seiko's hitting shots like that. He would have gone 3 for 3. My goodness.
Oh, Juicy was alone too, dealing with some 1v1 pressure.
I mean, they're doing a good job at so far. They're allowing FUT to take shots on target and barely flinching at that. Great defense, something I don't think we could have said earlier in the series, but now for certain we can. This is definitely the best version we have seen of Gentlemates. It is going to continue this way probably until the final 2 minutes are gone, especially when Seiko is pre-jumping off the ceiling. Yeah, what changed, man? In the first 3 games, Seiko was more or less a non-factor. Here in the fourth, he is the factor. I think, honestly, at this point, they might have already missed their opportunity here. The train has left the station, and not just because of the fact of the goals they need to make up, but the defense, as we mentioned before, has definitely gotten better for Gentlemates, and that's going to be a problem for a team that most of the goals they have scored have been either off of open nets or a awkward defense. Now that they don't have those opportunities, they have to find new ways to score, and even that, great read off the ceiling from Torres, and that's still not enough.
From the backboard, here comes Juicy. Can they get a 4th one for the road? What can they do more to dismantle the defense out of FUT? Try and regroup and recover. This was an expected result, but now you're up against a team that's pre-jumping you. This is just disrespectful, Bash.
I feel like that's the big difference in this game, is that I think the first couple of games, Gentlemates played very conservatively. They did not want to overextend. They did not want to hold on. I'm going to stop.
No.
Doesn't matter how they played before.
What is
Eugen silent. We said he needed to hit double touches. How about this?
Not the psycho clear into a ceiling. Flip reset, double tap. I mean, dude, come on, man. This is what we wanted, what we expected out of Gentlemates. Took them a while to get things going, shaking off the rust. Maybe you're adjusting to time zones, but Gentlemates have absolutely arrived in the Swiss stage, and the statement has been made from this team, from this squad representing the blue color, but more importantly, they're representing Europe, and they're going to try and make a deep run, and with that game win, they take the series and move on in expected fashion.
I'm going to be real here. This is it's a good win. I'm not going to take anything away from Gentlemates, especially the way they looked in that final game as they truly found form, started to hit some bangers.